This is the JTV Caribbean News. I am Sean Rose. The Jamaica government has acknowledged that the outbreak of the mosquito-borne chikungunya virus is taking a toll on the country's education system, with reports of a significant increase in student and teacher absenteeism. Health Minister Dr. Fenton Ferguson, in a nationwide radio and television address, called for a national response to tackle the outbreak of the virus spread by the Aedes aegypti mosquito. He said whole-scale support is needed as the authorities fine-tune strategies to destroy mosquito breeding sites. Jamaica's health minister also expressed concern about the impact the disease is having on productivity, calling on employers to be compassionate and assist their employees who are suffering from chikungunya. Ferguson added that chikungunya cases are expected to spike. Meanwhile, Jamaica's Director of Public Prosecutions, Paula Llewellyn, says the outbreak of chikungunya has led to the postponement of court cases due to the absence of several jurors with symptoms of the disease. The Trinidad-based Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA, says the chikungunya virus has reached epidemic proportions in the Caribbean and that many more cases will be recorded in the coming months. In related news, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Merlene Frederick has warned St. Lucians about becoming co-infected with both the chikungunya virus and the dengue fever spread by the same Aedes aegypti mosquito. Dr. Frederick told reporters it was possible to become infected with both illnesses at the same time, and it is important not to assume that cases of fever with joint pains and swelling is the chikungunya virus without a medical diagnosis. Dr. Frederick noted that the widely spread myth that the chikungunya virus is not spread by the Aedes aegypti mosquito is dangerous, as it may cause persons to drop their guard by not paying attention to their environment. She said St. Lucia's Ministry of Health was still recording increases in chikungunya cases, especially in the south of the island. The St. Vincent State-Owned Housing and Land Development Corporation, HLDC, has apologized to homeowners in the government's housing development in Clare Valley, where a house collapsed last month. Homeowners have complained that their 2- and 3-bedroom concrete houses were shaking, had no drainage, and poor finishing. They also complained about poor customer service from the front desk staff when they visited or contacted the HLDC's headquarters in Kingstown. The homeowners listed a litany of complaints about the houses for which they have mortgages of at least $130,000 EC. The concrete houses were constructed under the government's housing initiative, and on September 19, a 3-bedroom house belonging to physician Katisha Douglas collapsed. Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves has said that poor engineering, poor drainage, and the type of soil were responsible for the collapse of the house. The government has said it will reconstruct the collapsed house and correct the problems in each house in the area. The Bermuda Tourism Authority has launched its What I Love About Bermuda social media promotion.
It's like when you have moments like these where you're actually out and you're looking back at where you normally are.
It's such a small place, and you could go from one end of the island to the next.
It's the scenery when I'm running.
I'm just enjoying the atmosphere.
I love to try and be a voice for my people.
I just love to be creative. I like to make things.
Of course, I love surf.
And I love diving in.
I would love to see some turtles.
I love boxing in Bermuda.
I love all the little things you can do on your own without being overcrowded.
The Bermuda Tourism Authority is also incorporating the use of a new hashtag #LoveMyBermuda, with the 2-minute video, which has received over 2,400 views since being posted online on September 30. And finally, in this week's regional segment, scores of supporters of former Haitian President Jean-Bertrand Aristide took to the streets on Tuesday to mark the 23rd anniversary of the coup that ousted Aristide in 1991. Police dispersed the demonstration with tear gas and water cannons as the crowd of several thousand marchers tried to force their way through a blocked road leading to Aristide's home. Several weeks ago, a judge issued an arrest warrant for Aristide and later put him under house arrest on corruption charges. Aristide has refused to appear in court, and his supporters have been camping outside his gate to prevent his arrest. Marguerite Petit, a pro-Aristide marcher, told reporters that the Lavalas people do not want Aristide arrested, and they will make sure that it does not happen. Aristide supporters have organized every year since 1992 street demonstrations and other forms of protest to mark their disapproval of the 1991 bloody military coup that sent him into exile. Aristide has been accused of embezzling or misusing several $100 million when he was in power from 2001 to 2004, before again being forced from power and exiled to South Africa. He came back to Haiti in 2011. That's it for this week's Caribbean News segment. I am Sean Rose.
And coming up next on JTV News, Premier Smith says uniting to safeguard the region's energy future would be a major accomplishment for Caribbean people. Over 1,000 secondary school students confront bullying and related issues at an epic forum hosted by Rotary. And the BVI Tourist Board launches BVI Food Fete, offering various cuisine experiences for visitors and locals.